The year is 1929. But this is not the jazz-soaked, Gatsby-lit 1929 you've heard about in American stories. This is Europe, and here, the air is thick with grief, ash, and desperation. In Berlin, the sound of street music has been replaced by the shuffling of hollow footsteps. Children with skeletal limbs chase rats for food. Women sell family heirlooms in back alleys for stale bread. Newspapers are used not for reading, but as blankets. The First World War didn't end. It just paused. The guns fell silent, but the trauma dug in deeper. Germany, bound and shackled by the Treaty of Versailles, is now an open wound. A nation crushed under the weight of its own shame. The Weimar Republic flails in slow motion. Political mobs clash in the streets. Hyperinflation turns life into parody. Banknotes are piled in wheelbarrows. Men earn pay by the hour because by lunchtime their wages are worthless. Entire fortunes vanish overnight, and with them faith in reason, in order, in civilization. A storm is coming. Everyone feels it. No one knows where it will strike first. But while most try to rebuild their lives, one man makes a different choice. He turns away, not out of fear but disgust. His name is Friedrich Ritter, and he's about to disappear. Dr. Friedrich Ritter wasn't just a physician. He was a radical thinker, a man obsessed with the failures of mankind. His words were sharp, his mind sharper still. He saw himself as a prophet among the blind. But his writings, though brilliant, were laced with venom. He blamed industry for the destruction of the soul. He condemned capitalism as a cancer. He viewed love, compassion, even human connection, as dangerous distractions from the pursuit of truth. To Ritter, modern society was a doomed experiment, a prison where the inmates had built their own walls. He didn't just criticize, he devised an escape, not a retreat to the countryside, not a cabin in the Alps. He wanted absolute isolation, to flee not just from cities and systems, but from mankind itself. He envisioned a life of pure survival, a return to nature, a test of will and reason. No rules, no noise, no mercy. He called it purification. His peers called it madness. But one woman listened. Dora Galuchow was unlike anyone Ritter had ever met. Once his patient, she became his partner in every sense: spiritual, intellectual, romantic. But Dora was no follower. She had her own reasons to abandon the world. Dora suffered from multiple sclerosis, a degenerative disease that slowly robbed her of strength. But she never sought pity. She walked with pain, worked through it, thought beyond it. In a world that viewed her as broken, Dora chose to be bold. Their bond was strange. Ritter didn't believe in affection. He saw love as a weakness. Yet Dora stayed, drawn to his mind, his rebellion, and perhaps to the hope that somewhere, far from civilization, they might find something worth living for. They made a pact, not just to love each other, but to burn everything behind them. Together they would vanish from the world and begin again. They sold everything: books, instruments, furniture, even Ritter's medical tools. They left behind his wife, her friends, their reputations. From Germany, they sailed to Ecuador, a journey of weeks. Then, aboard a rusty cargo boat, they took the final voyage into the Pacific. Each day at sea was a test. The food spoiled, the sun blistered their skin, salt encrusted their clothes, the wind howled like a warning. Dora's muscles seized in the night. Ritter grew silent, scribbling in his journal by candlelight. They were alone with their thoughts, drifting toward a place with no past, no future. And then, on the 23rd day, it rose from the sea like a monster. Floriana Island. Black, cracked, smoking, silent. Their Eden had no welcome mat, no harbor, no trail, just raw earth. Stepping onto Floriana was like walking onto another planet. No birdsong, no fresh breeze, just jagged lava flows, thorn-choked brush, and a sun that seemed to burn with malice. They carried their crates up the rock like ants. Food supplies, seeds, tools, books, a typewriter, There was no shelter, so they built one, a lean-to of driftwood, palms, and desperation. Their bed was a sack of rags. Their meals, dried fruit soaked in seawater. At night, they huddled close to keep warm as salt winds scraped their faces. Dora's legs failed her after the second hike. Ritter said nothing. Here, nature didn't care about their ideals, only about who would bend first. Survival became religion. Each task was sacred: hauling water from the spring 2 hours away, fending off feral dogs, boiling moss for nutrients. Ritter began writing again. His essays grew darker, deeper. He called Floriana a crucible, a test to burn away the impurities of modern life. He described the mechanics of solitude, the psychology of hardship, and the ecstasy of emptiness. Every passing boat was flagged down. Sealed bundles of writings were handed off to skeptical sailors. Dora, meanwhile, built the world that Ritter claimed to transcend. She dug gardens, nursed goats, patched wounds, bandaged her own feet, named her chickens, talked to lizards, cried quietly when no one was looking. Their lives forked. One wrote about paradise, the other bled to build it. Then, the letters reached Europe, and everything changed. Newspapers printed them with breathless awe. "The philosopher of the wild," they called Ritter. Artists painted him like a saint. Intellectuals debated him. His ideas became gospel for the lost generation. But admiration comes with curiosity, and curiosity always arrives uninvited.